This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing at 10841 Elderburry Court out here in Mira Mesa. Starting my digital inspection, we always like to start underneath the eaves of the house. So your eaves are going to consist of your fascia board, you have your starter board, and then you have your rafter tails. And the reason why we like to start underneath the eave is that it gives us a good idea about what kind of wood damage we can expect on this property and on this project. Now, this home was just recently painted from what it looks like. So a lot of times what ends up happening is some of the bad wood ends up getting just filled or kind of fixed. Doesn't really do the trick as far as, you know, saving that particular piece of wood, but it makes it look nicer. So when we end up tearing off the roof, sometimes the wood is in worse shape than what we expected, but it looks like some of this fascia was replaced, so that is a good sign. This roof did come with drip edge. That's helping to protect this new wood, which is nice to see. Now this is an architectural asphalt shingle roof that we have right here. We can see just kind of how worn this particular roof is. And you can see just kind of how rusted out some of these nails are. You can see the adhesiveness on this product is starting to go. I'm going to point out a few other areas of this roof that I think should be noted as well. But again, you can notice that there's a lot of granule loss that's already starting to occur. I'm going to show you areas where all these granules are accumulating, but essentially what's happening is the oils on this asphalt shingle have started to evaporate, and as those oils start to deplete, the granules that will then roll off and deplete as well. And as that starts to happen, all the fiberglass begins to be exposed. Now this roof is a little wet, so the fiberglass isn't as evident as it normally would be when the roof is dry, but you can see how all these fibers are starting to come out, and as that starts to happen, the waterproofing is greatly affected on this product. You can also see that the adhesiveness of this product as well is really starting to go as well. You can see how loose all these shingles are. Everything kind of starting to come up at the moment. So just something to think about when it comes to the overall life expectancy of this product. Once that adhesiveness starts to go, that's a telltale sign that the product itself has gone past its life expectancy. And you can see all the repairs that have been done on this roof as well. Here, all along here. Again, we can see really just how damaged all these shingles are along this roof plane, and just how loose everything is as well. You'll also notice that the majority of the granules are starting to accumulate in this little rain stop. So these are all granules from the actual roofing shingle. So again, whenever it rains, these granules flow off the roof and end up in those areas. We got a flat roof section over here with the torch down modified bitumen material. And you can see we have some major ponding going on. You can see how deep this water is. That water just sits and sits and sits whenever it rains. Same thing over here. These are all concerns, right? We want to make sure that if we do have a flat roof, that we have the correct material on it that's going to allow for water to flow off of it. But if it isn't the right material, if we don't have the proper flow, then we need to go ahead and switch that. So my suggestion is we switch this flat roofing material to a TPO material. TPO is more of a commercial grade product. When it is installed, it'll turn this entire roof plane into one singular membrane, so we can still have that ponding water and it won't be an issue. But you can see how all the granules from the roof accumulate right here in this section, because what happens is as it rains, everything flows right to here, and then it just sits, and it sits and sits and sits and sits over time. And on any flat roof material, especially something like this, it's going to end up finding its way. And you can see how these seams are starting to loosen up. So if my finger can get underneath it, then water will be getting in there as well. And obviously this is an area where water does accumulate, so we want to switch that out also. So again, just based off of the amount of granule loss that has been occurring on this roof for quite some time, the overall condition of the roof, the lack of adhesiveness on the roof as well, I am going to recommend that we go ahead and replace it. So we're going to tear this down to the wood decking. We're going to swap out these dormer vents with O'Hagan vents. We want to increase the exhaust ventilation on this roof. We're going to add at least 3 more exhaust vents to this roof. O'Hagan vents are flat, low profile vents, just like your neighbors have across the street. The little square vents right there, those are the O'Hagan vents. So we're going to swap out these dormer vents just because those are always susceptible to leaks. We're going to tear this down to the decking so that we can address any kind of bad wood that's on this property. Wood repair is always that unknown variable, so we're going to have to wait and see until we tear this roof off to see how much wood actually needs to be replaced. We're going to add a layer of synthetic underlayment once we tear the old stuff off. That synthetic underlayment is part of the Owens Corning roofing system. We are an Owens Corning preferred contractor, which means that this roof will come with a 50-year warranty from Owens Corning to go along with our workmanship warranty as well. Once that underlayment is installed, we'll reseal and reflash all these penetrations. We'll go ahead and add starter shingle along the entire perimeter of the roof, brand new drip edge, and then the actual architectural shingle will be installed right on top of that. and this homeowner will have a roof that they won't have to deal with for the foreseeable future. That is it for my inspection.